Frank, did you think this was possible? I mean, we used to sit around and you'd imagine, what would it be like to play golf in the Himalayas or in the Grand Canyon? And here we are. I mean, did you think this was even doable?
Well, courtesy of EA Sports now, I now believe everything's possible.
How about the design genius of the EA Sports team?
Well, it only goes to show you what is possible. You imagine, in amongst the Grand Canyon, in amongst the battle scene, all sorts of things. You can put a golf course nowadays anywhere. Just let your imagination run wild.
That's a bit offline in the rough. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Birdie chance now for Jordan Spieth. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hitting the ball in the right place there. And the other good thing, too, he's actually putting well.
That's a birdie for McIlroy. He is just so explosive. Here at the fourth hole, it is a relatively short par 4, Colorado River to the left, and the green is... Where is it, Frank? I don't see it.
Yeah, right in the corner behind that pile of rocks. As the crow flies, it's probably only 270 yards direct to the green, but most people will play it as a very sharp dogleg right par 4. Now, that doesn't mean you just blaze away, because you can see if you're short of that dogleg, you're going to be blocked out. Too far, you're also going to be blocked out. So you really have to get the distance right off the tee here. That's an absolute beauty.
Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. Second shot, good look at the green. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, you have to like that. 4 under. Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Four under on the day. All right, Frank, let's see what he does.
Yeah, blind tee shot.
Frank, this has been impressive. Game plan, stuck to it, hitting some quality shots.
He's really done his homework on the golf course, swinging well, and, well, there's a few holes to go, too. And this round could get even better. That was terrible.
That's out of bounds, and it'll cost him a shot. Now on his third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds.
Yeah, tough break really, Rich, on that last shot. It just got away from him.
Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Here we go. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. And getting ready for the putt. With a good read, might have been able to make it from that distance, but not to be. Jordan Spieth eyeing this putt for birdie. With that, moves to 5 under par. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Here at the par 5 6th, 625 yards.
You have to take a bite out of the rocky road here, up and over the railway line, and somehow underneath the arches. From there, you're hitting, well, to an island green, you might say. But there's no water. It's just surrounded by rock and canyon. There's something about a well-hit shot.
He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. From 105 out. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
He'll need to be strong with this. This for Jordan Spieth's birdie. Starting to put something special together. 6 under par. Locked in on the read and the speed. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Now at the par 4 7th hole, this an unusual fairway to say the least, Frank.
It's special. The reason why it's special, because it's shaped like an S. If you play it as a straightaway hole, then you're going to have to stay before that rock crop and then be far enough back that you can at least get over it in a direct line to the green. Otherwise, you're going to need a bit of a cut off the tee, and that would be fairly brave. Easy way, because the hole's not too long, would be to lay it up. More difficult, more enjoyable way is to cut it to the right and try and find a gap.
Frank, it really is an ingenious design here. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Frank, this is an important approach shot because our featured player was really good early, a little bit shaky of late. This is a point in time where you need to get it back.
Yeah, you almost need to stop, just stand still for a second, almost just flush it out, because at the moment you're starting to look right and left at the trouble. Let's get back to what worked. Let's start looking where we want the ball to go, where the flag is, and start going there.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Just 5 feet left. Ooh, good effort right there. Almost made it. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Well, Frank, here at the par 5 8th hole here at the Canyon, length and accuracy are paramount.
They certainly are, Rich. Obviously, some of the longer hitters might be able to reach this hole in 2, even though it's over 700 yards. For the mere mortals, though, a little unusual feature here in the second shot area. If we look ahead, 2 bunkers on the right side that are adjacent to that rock wall on the right. And that, well, you actually need a step ladder really to get into those bunkers. They look like 2 little basins filled by sand. We hopefully don't see anyone playing out of that.
Two ways to take a bath here. You could take one...
On for a little extra. Smoked that one.
Second from an excellent lie. Beautiful looking shot right here. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Stuck the follow through right there. This could be really good. That will be a great look at birdie. 135 yards left, just in the second cut.
Should be safely on deck.
Spieth trying to light the fuse. This one's for birdie. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Nothing wrong with that par putt. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Now 2 to the good side. Ready to round out the front side on this par 4. It is another steep drop here, Frank.
And this hole is enormous. We've blown past the days of 500-yard par 4s, and we're into the high 600-yard markers, and that green all the way down the end just sits out on the top, on the edge of a cliff face. So a good drive essential here, and, well, close your eyes on that second shot. There's plenty of peril in front of you. The rock on the left, there's that bunker that comes down on the left side as well. And as that hole starts to narrow up, but the second shot here has to be one of the hardest on the golf course.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Setting up for the approach, this player in total command.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The decision-making, club selection's being spot on, but the execution, the swing, is really what I'm admiring right now.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So with that, the score is now at even par. So we're ready to start the back nine. Rich Lerner for EA Sports, along with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us a little bit about the 10th.
Yet another tight tee shot, Rich. This time the canyon is on the right side, though. And you can see that left side well protected by that wall of rock. Not an overly long par 4, but once again, you've got a threaded drive down there to have any chance to really see this flag.
Not very good at all right there.
No, I think...
Frank, what's the key? You just hit one OB.
Somehow forget what's just happened. Otherwise, the same thing's liable to happen.
So playing the third shot right now after having gone OB.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Now the game's #1 player, Rory McIlroy, ready with his approach. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, that's a formality now.
About 120 yards to the hole. Locked in on the read and the speed. That puts them at 4 under for the round.
Even par currently.
That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. And again, trouble left. This is not the day, not the golf course, to be fighting a case of the duck hooks.
Oh, this 11th hole, it doesn't seem overly long, but it's a hole where a long tee shot's going to give you a huge advantage because you're going to get a nice look at that green. I say long, but you also want to be straight here, just like all the other holes we've seen so far. Trouble left this time. Canyon, well, it drops down to one of the other holes, and of course that big rock of wall down that right side, which well, for millions of years has looked fantastic.
Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
A little shaky behind the wheel today, Frank.
Oh, shaky? Maybe put both hands on it?
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. And about 1 1/4 left to the hole. Birdie chance now for Jordan Spieth. So close. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Good score going, now at 2 under par. Clean this up with a tap. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now to the par 3 12th, Frank, and obviously there is trouble yet again on the left, and if you miss it to the right, you're not going to be pitching off of a soft piece of grass.
No, you're not. Fortunately, though, this is the shortest of the 4 par 3s here at the golf course. Left, long, in trouble. Fortunately, that bunker might save a few shots from going to what would be an even bigger problem. But at that yardage, there is a chance to make 2. It's not a big target, but anything on the putting surface really is going to give you a birdie opportunity.
Boy, I'm reminded of what an old caddy used to say about the great Lanny Watkins when he was on fire. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Oh, this is right at it.
Shouldn't be a problem here. He can't believe it. Thought it was in. So a tester from 4 feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Getting set now over the putt. With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. Frank, think about it as we look at the 13th hole here. How many par 5s have you described in the following way? Canyon to the left, and then you have to hit a shot over the water to the green. Not many.
No, waterfalls left and right. And of course that lovely oasis is created by the mountains, especially in the wintertime when it snows over. You see this fairway starts to really narrow up, so if you can't reach the par 5 and 2, you've really got to think carefully about that lap, exactly where you want to place that ball. But if you can reach this par 5 and 2, I don't know if that's a good thing, because that's a daunting second shot, Rich, all the way across that water.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
Second shot.
seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Oh, what a shot. Setting up for an eagle here. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This would give him an eagle on the card. So the eagle goes begging. Still has this for birdie. So makes the putt, and now at -6. -3 now for the round. Frank, what's cool about this hole is on that third shot, presumably, I don't think anybody can get home in two at about 900 yards, but on that third shot, there's just no two ways around it. You have to fly it over the canyon.
Rich, I'm scared of heights. I can't afford to look to the right there. That is a massive drop-off down the side there, and when you're looking at that third shot going across there, that is, well, you take a deep breath, hopefully just look at the flag. And then even when you hit it on the green, you've got to walk across that. But that is an enormous drop down to the Colorado River.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway.
You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You'll need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Oh, I liked that. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Here we go. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
So just a formality here. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. And Frank, this is the first time I can ever recall being in a mobile announcer's booth. That's us. Right there, you can see it in that hot air balloon.
Well, we keep blowing hot air. We'll be up here for a while, Rich.
I know I have plenty left in the tank.
Well, let's see if he's got plenty left in the tank after that dismal display from close range at par 5.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Unable to square up the club face, Frank.
It was always starting right, and it looks like it's staying there.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
This is a good-looking shot. This is for his birdie. Wait, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Nice par to remain 3 under. Continuing to play well. -7 now after that putt. Frank, it's just amazing what they were able to do to get the equipment up here into the Grand Canyon to sculpt this golf course. In fact, there's a hardcover book out about the making of this golf course. It is really fascinating.
It is. That's a good read. And obviously you can sort of peruse through that before you play the golf course, and you'll see that this is one of the many signature holes here on the layout. And I've never seen really this type of hole in golf, one that actually turns back on itself in the shape of a U or a question mark.
You know, what's great about this golf course, Frank, is that it marries history. You talked about, what, how many millions of years?
17 million years ago, the Colorado River started cutting its way through the canyon.
So 17 million years ago, but then you marry that with the modern technology that it took to get in here and dig this out, and then the creativity, the artistic element that's involved from the standpoint of the architects.
Oh, amazing design. And of course, you get to see one of the the great wonders of the world, really, when you walk around here. The many hot air balloons that'll adorn the area, providing the spectators. But it's a good tee shot uphill, and then turn back on yourself and hit it across.
Jordan Spieth now on the approach shot. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Frank, that was a pretty good shot right there.
Yeah, he's done well to minimize the damage.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Well, that's why on this golf course, Frank, there is a premium on hitting fairways.
You're exactly right. Might be also protecting against a fly, but that did anything other than fly. Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play.
Should be safely on deck.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Oh man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Jordan Spieth for par. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. That takes him to 1 under on the day. Just 2 holes left. The 17th is a par 4. Frank, looks like a bowling alley, not a golf course.
Yeah, it is, but you could easily get a strike down here, that's for sure, because you'll knock over more than pins. Anything left or right is going to hit one of those mountains on either side, but hopefully will bounce all the way back to the fairway. So it might play a little wider than what first your eye sees. Second shot's going to play slightly uphill again to a green that pitches slightly back towards you, plus 2 different tiers. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
Looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Jordan Spieth ready for his second shot. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Jordan Spieth can really roll it, has good feel. And let's see what he does with this putt. Now 8 under on the day. Looking to make a move. This putt for birdie. He's made a birdie. Takes the score to 2 under par. So we've come to the finishing hole, and it is a par 3. And Frank, you think about bucket list golf courses. The old course at St. Andrews, TPC Sawgrass with the 17th, the Island Green, Pebble Beach. Augusta National. This one certainly has to be on anybody's list before their days are done.
It is, and the only thing really crazier for this hole is if they actually stuck it out there on a little sliver of land out there on top of the Colorado River. But wonderful way to finish what's been a good day. Long par 3, well protected by those 2 bunkers, but there's enough green there and a good shot. We might just see a putt for 2 to finish the day.
This one looks right on point. So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie.
That was terrible.
Jordan Spieth eyeing this putt for birdie. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
So a 71 on the day. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great golf that you would hold up against anybody right now.
Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. Frank, we've called golf all around the world, but never at a golf course quite like this.
Rich, we've picked a perfect day. It's usually here about 64 people running around, battling it out for domination.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. What an outstanding shot that was.
Got the right result, too. It's just a tap-in.
So they'll tap in. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Now to the second hole, Frank, and just a look here. This green is clearly very heavily guarded.
Yeah, you notice that guard shack on the right there? Well, you better keep your head down because we're not sure whether or not that guard shack is actually empty.
Be a dangerous shot here at the second.
And left, trees, a little bit of sand. There is the bridge as well.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Chance to get on a real roll.
How about this? Birdies at 1 and 2. We could be in for something pretty special today. Oh my goodness, Frank, I have never seen anything quite like this. What in the world's going on?
That's a destroyer, and it's off course, and it's heading straight for the island.
Look out!
Well, we're going to have to send in backup now, Rich. We'll need a drone just to try and find out the exact yardage because that ship now has blocked the view.
Talk about a tough defense set up around a green. This is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Frank, here at the fourth, there's an awful lot going on.
There certainly is. Solar panels, radar tower is up and ready to go, so it will confirm the landing on the other side if it's successful. This rather long par 3 around the 230-yard mark, so this is going to be all carry. Got to land that ball on the green. It will not run through that beach area. And, of course, the trees and the palm trees all the way around. If this isn't flighted properly, it will not find the destination.
Seems like too much for just one man. This looks like a job for an entire flight crew, Frank.
Well, Rich, we should dig ourselves a trench and see what happens.
That will be a great look at birdie. Frank, this is a nice run right here.
Oh, yeah, and this is very makeable, too. Excellent chance for 4 in a row.
Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day.
Now, blind tee shot. Got to go over those 2 rocks in front of you. Just keep it right of those palms in the distance.
Frank, this one's headed way right.
And rough trees, all sorts of problems on that right side.
And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
And setting up here in the rough. And he's made it onto the green now. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Up to the 6th tee, Frank, and we're back against that